For the first time in my life, I ever saw something so beautiful. Peace was the calm rushing waves of the sea that made my heart surrender to its beauty. There was something magical about that place that made me want to stay there forever. And as I was sitting there, trying to capture everything in my mind, the thought of how I ended up there made me laugh a little inside. Presiding officer, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Last Dashai, my parents, along with my aunt, planned to visit Dwarkadish and Somnath temples and asked me to come along. I wasn't quite intrigued about the idea, but they persuaded me to come along, help them with little responsibilities so that their trip would be a little more relaxing. After that, obviously, I said yes. Our trip started on the first day of my Dashai vacation when we left for Delhi. My aunt joined us from in there, and we took a train to Ahmedabad. Unlike the railway station, the city was quite clean, and two things about that place were unforgettable. First was the Akshardham temple, which was as mesmerizing as the morning sky, and the second was the exotic food. It had a little sweet, unusual flavor that made it so different, and the variety was as diverse as a king's meal. A foodie like me could never get enough of it. That very evening, we left for Somnath. It was like a different version of Pashupati. There were countless devotees of Lord Shiva there, and I was enjoying the new culture and the new place. But something very disturbing happened after that. I saw those countless devotees pouring milk on the shivering as if it was water. The feeling of helplessness and disgust caught me. The sight was so upsetting that I lost the little interest I had for the rest of the trip. Anyhow, before leaving for Dwarkadish, we went to Diu, a small island near Somnath. That was the first time I ever saw a sea. I ever went to a beach. Crystal clear water stretched far into the horizon, and the sea was all I wanted to be then. Boundaryless, free, and unchained. The wet sand slipped up around my feet and also between my toes as if it was trying to tickle me. Though the beach was quite crowded, but looking at my mom slashing and splattering the water all over herself like a little baby was priceless. It was priceless, and it was one of a kind moment. The next morning, we left for Dwarkadish, and after my experience in Somnath, I wasn't really looking forward to visiting a similar place. But this was way beyond my imagination. With every step I took inside the temple, I fell more and more in love with that place. First of all, people were not pouring water or milk on the sculpture, but they were devoting flowers, and that was something I loved and made me as happy as April rains at that point of time. And the best part was the architecture. It was spectacular. The sculptures engraved in the wall, they were telling the story of Lord Krishna. I was awestruck to see such minute and wonderful details telling an entire story that it made me soar into the world of Lord Krishna and experience the saga as if it was real. It took me a while to come back, and when I did, we headed towards the main temple. To my surprise, it was more organized than the other places I've visited before. It seemed like nobody was in a rush. It seemed like everybody was trying to feed their soul with the holiness, spirituality, and divinity of that place, like those followers of Buddha who look for his guidance for peace in life. And after spending a few pleasant hours in the temple, We went to a tourist spot a few kilometers away, and the view from that place was spectacular. The view from this place was like a little piece of heaven on earth. I could go there day in and day out and never get bored of it. The sound of the waves hitting the rock was like the Beatles making music. The orange sky during sunset was so serene and so calm that I could feel the peace within. Over to Toastmaster.